Good evening, everyone. We will be talking about the 10 steps to building a profitable website. My name is Joyce Diaz and welcome to our webinar on 10 steps to building a profitable website. A few years ago, when I was setting up my own business, my business coach required me to build a website and he gave me 1 month to do this in. I had the hardest time trying to find a programmer who would do it within my budget, and I had no clue about how to build a website in the first place. I thought it was a technical skill that only coders and programmers could achieve. In any case, with all of the pressure that my business coach put upon me and a deadline by which I had to achieve a website of my own for my business, I pretty much had to find my own way through the jungle of coding and programming, and I discovered WordPress. However, several mistakes later and many months of googling and trying to find a quick solution for how to build my website, I eventually built it in a record 31 days, and I had the website ready for my business coach, and I was pretty proud of myself. However, in the process of building my website, I made a few mistakes. I hired the wrong webmaster, and for every little change I needed to make, he charged me a lot of money. That pretty much blew my survival budget. Relying on somebody else pretty much also put me into a spot, because every time I needed to make a change to my website, I had to rely on him, his availability, and of course everything came at a price. You might be in the same place, and I just want to reassure you that just about anyone that can read English and has even the slightest intelligence, and I'm sure you're very smart people because you're on this website, on this webinar, listening to me right now, you are in the right place because you have the intelligence, and I will show you step by step what are the mistakes, the common mistakes that most people make, and what are the essential steps to building a profitable website. A number of people just build a website, throw a few pages up there, and it's static. No business is coming. They use it like an online brochure. You need to make sure that your clients are visiting your site on automatic, and if you have something to sell on your website, that they're actually purchasing it without any problem. As I mentioned, if you are a brand new business owner and you do not have any kind of web presence, you need to have a website. If you already have an existing website but it's built with old technology and it's just not bringing in the business, you need to update your website to make sure that it is, that you're using the internet as a tool to assist you in your business building activities. And if your webmaster is taking away all of your life and all of your profits and leaving you in a quandary of depression and disgust, then this is time for you to learn what are the 10 effective steps to building a killer money-making website. The 10 steps that we will be talking about and that you must include in your website strategy will help you to get a website that is not just that virtual brochure we were talking about. It will help you to get clients pretty much on autopilot. So you don't have to be chasing them up the creek, trying to get them to commit to an appointment and want them to go and figure out whether your services match their needs. Let the web do the work. So the very first step, the very basics are, you need to be making a website that's very easy for anyone visiting a website to navigate between the pages. If they are completely confused by the layout of your website, they're not going to get anywhere, and your tool is going to be a complete disaster. The second thing to keep in mind is that it has to be quick to load, it should have a clean look, and be modern and professional at the same time. You need to have also a good website marketing strategy to attract visitors to your website. You need to have a domain name which is going to be representing your business, and you need to put this domain name in a hosting service, which is pretty much like you buy a car and then you find a parking spot for it. The second step is ask your customers what sites do they want to visit, what do they want to see when they come to your site, and what is it that would entice them to come and visit your site more often. Because if you have just very boring content, they will not come back. So you need to check with your potential clients first. You might also want to check out any other websites that are in your niche and find out what works for them that you might like to have on your site. What are the mistakes they're making? Are they too cluttered? Is there too much information? Is it hard to follow? And then what makes it unique? What is it that's really exciting about that website that makes you interested in visiting it again? Some of the design best practices that you need to keep in mind is to make sure that whatever your target audience is, if it's a professional target audience, then you need to build a very crisp looking professional site. If it is a casual target audience, then make it a fun site with things that will appeal to them. If it is a women only target audience and you're selling, like, let's say, makeup products or how to lose weight, how to update your image, your professional image or your dress image or your fashion sense, make sure that the site is appealing to women and have elements that would interest them. What we mean by about the fold is when you first land on the landing page, everything that you can see without scrolling down to see any further details is considered to be above the fold in the web world. You need to make sure that you have a very unique business brand, something that sets you apart. So don't try and copy every other site. Make sure that your branding is very, very unique, and also make sure that you are consistent for design and navigation, and that you engage the visitors with blog posts and invite their comments and have a conversation with them. The third step is a clear call to action. You have to get your visitors to do something when they come to your site. You don't want them to just visit, read, and leave. So you want them to either buy a product that you have on your site, or you want them to register for a workshop, or sign up to your subscription letter, or visit your actual retail store, which might be a brick and mortar business in the neighborhood, or at least just to call or contact you for more information or regarding any contest you might be offering. Just make it very clear, give a very clear action item, and tell them exactly what they need to do when they're on your site. Step 4 is to build trust. Nobody will do any kind of business with someone that they do not know, like, and trust. So what is it that you want them to know about me, or about yourself? Provide them with your contact information by telephone, or if it's still your target audience still uses fax, and a fax number, or they can contact you through the website or through Skype, or whatever the way is that you want them to reach you. Make sure you put that information on. Talk about through your testimonials and maybe with a little bit of summary about yourself. Explain why you're an expert in the area that you're setting the website up for. And if you are in the kind of business that will allow you to have some kind of samples and build a portfolio of your products, then please do that. But also have a list of questions, the common questions that people might ask in a frequently asked questions section, which is FAQ. And of course, other people talking about how happy they are with your product or services are invaluable in adding credibility for you and to build trust with your potential target audience. Step 5 is content. Whatever it is that you're selling, any of the information that you're providing has to be very, very clear and concise. It should not be completely off topic. Like if you're selling shoes, then make sure that it's got everything to do with shoes and foot care and walking, and don't start talking about lipstick in that mix. It has to be relevant and informative. Then have some very seductive, attention-grabbing headlines that will draw their attention to the content, because you might have stellar content and they might still not read it if your attention doesn't, if your headline does not grab their attention at first encounter with your content. And then make sure you regularly update your content, so they're not coming back to the same static content over and over again. If it is static, they will never visit again, and they will never see any of the other interesting products or services that you might have to offer. Step 6 is use some of the great marketing tools that are out there. Learn to build your list, and you can, when you do this and stay in constant communication with your target audience, and keep them updated with new things, share useful information, give them some recommendations for things that you might have used that might also benefit them, and let them know when you have special promotions. Your main objective when you have a website is not just to have a brochure, it's to get the right potential customers to your site. And you want quality leads rather than quantity. Most people say if you have 1,000 people, then a percentage of them will buy, but you really want people very targeted people that are interested in what you might have to offer visiting your site. Now, the first tool that you might use is an opt-in form. It's somewhat like the image to the right with a name and an email address. Well, why would they give up that information to you? You must have an irresistible offer. It could be an ebook, an e-course, a free webinar, just about anything that you can come up with that supports your content and your product, but make sure it's quality material and that it is relevant to their interest. The second tool you might choose is an autoresponder service or to do email marketing. This is very affordable. Everyone has an email address these days. It's very effective and you can measure the results of your efforts very easily. When you're doing email marketing, make sure that every email that you send has a similar interesting subject line, similar to the headline that we were talking about earlier. And you can offer a special deal, seasonal deal, or when you have sales, you can personalize the message based on their interest and make it easy for them to respond to you. And do not just say click here, actually talk about the product and then have them click to it. The third tool you might choose is a blog, and a blog is very easily added to a WordPress website. So you can either turn the feature on, or if you choose to turn it on, you can use the blog to give them lots of valuable regular content, and they can actually comment on your blog post and thereby engage with you. So this will give them a reason to come back to your website on a regular basis, especially if you have interesting relevant content. From time to time, give away free stuff, run regular contests, and do some special promotions. Google loves blogs, so any website that has a blog is likely to go up in the ranks much quicker than a static website. Step 7 is search engine optimization. And again, you are engaging with your audience, and you are optimizing your website in a way using keywords to increase the click rate for them to find you more easily. And if you look at any website and you see the yellow portion that's highlighted, that's where most of the top ranked websites are listed, and those show up higher on the page and are more likely to be clicked. But the majority of the searchers will click in the blue area, which is the sites that don't pay to be in the yellow section, the paid section. The people pay to be in those positions and they pay top dollar for that. But through the use of properly optimized websites, you can actually be found in the blue region, which is people who just type in a particular keyword like a diamond dog collar, and they will automatically see your page because it has been ranked by Google to show up on top of the blue section. Identify your keywords. Think like your customer. What is your customer looking for? What would they type in Google or in any of the search engines in order to find your website or your services? Use your keywords in your page title, in the meta tags, which seems to be a little bit of a technical term, but I will explain that to you in a future webinar or in the course, which I'll be talking about a little later. Make sure those keywords feature in your content, in your image titles. You can use very, very specific search terms that are not highly searched, that are not very competitive, so you need to have highly searched keyword, very low competition, and that will help with your SEO for your website. Basically, you're looking for a large number of links which acts like a vote of confidence, so other people linking to your website and to your content will raise you in the eyes of Google, and you want it coming not from any Tom, Dick and Harry, but from related sites which are high quality, preferably in the same industry or in complementary industries to your service or product. Then you can submit your website to different directories, and there are lots of free ones and there are some paid ones. You can have reciprocal links, which means other people sending links to your site and you returning the favor, as well as from social media. All of those count towards SEO. Step 8 to building a good website is integrating social media with your website. So you can actually have your website linked in, and no pun intended, but they can be linked to other social media where you might also have a presence, such as in Facebook and LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, Google+, and if you have a blog, you can have multiple blogs on that topic as well. Step 9 is, it's not just a pretty face once you have a website, you also need to know that it's actually performing well. what is happening, what do the visitors do when they come to your site? Do they come to your site, linger for a few seconds and bounce away to find in search of something else that's more interesting? Or do they stay? If they stay, how long do they stay? Where do they come from? Are they coming from some other site and then finding you organically? Are they coming from a keyword search term? And then when they're on your site, what are they doing? Which pages are they going to? What are the search terms they're using? All of this can be captured in one single tool. And finally, in the day of the mobile age, where 70 million and over 70 million, in fact, smartphone users all over the world are accessing web content using their mobile phones or other mobile devices like the iPad. More and more people are on mobile and fewer people are now on desktops. So you need to make sure that your website is easily readable and accessible through a mobile device. And you can also use QR codes in order to gather contact information. And with different buttons, it's done differently on mobile sites. So make sure whenever you're considering a website strategy that you also include mobile friendly version of your website in that strategy. Now I have a course which is Build Your Own Profitable Website, and there are 8 modules. In the first module it just goes over all of the domains and the basics, domain, hosting, installing WordPress, that kind of thing. And that is the only part that is extremely technical, but it's not difficult. In fact, I taught an 80-year-old how to build a website, and he'll tell you dropping them out for his grandkids. Just about anyone can do it. It's very, very easy, and then it's very, very easy to understand. I'll leave nobody behind. Nobody that's technically challenged will leave the course not knowing how to build a website. The second module is how to design your website, which is the colors and the layout and how you want your website to look. It's about the appearance. Module 3 is about how to actually content onto your posts on your pages. So if you have a blog, then it's called a post. And if you just want to write your website, then you're just building pages on it. Within those pages, you put in text content. You can also add other media such as videos and images into your site. Module 4 is how to set up your essential plugins, and this is really a very simple way of getting very specialized programming added to your website. So there's additional pieces of technology that you can add to your website, and there's a whole ton of it. Like you can have event registration, you can have a calendar, you can have SEO done automatically using all of these plugins, which are little bits of code that you just add to your website, and it's very, very easy to do. Then you have to set up a sign-up page, so your leads, any accidental visitors coming to your page, see something that's really of interest to them, and they sign up automatically to it. And then you want to be able to sell something, because that's why you're in business. You want to be able to sell a product or a service, so you need to have a sales page on your website with a button by which you can collect the payment. Finally, you're going to analyze your site's performance, as mentioned before, and the final module is how to integrate social media into your page. And as a bonus for those who might be joining right now, today, when you see this webinar, is a full 4-hour mini workshop that I did on how to do email marketing and further promote the services that you might have in your business, either linking it back to the website, or you might directly send them to a sales page. For those of you who do not have the time to go through an 8-week course and just want to have your website built, we have a special offer for you as well. We do all of the work for you. The only part that you would have to do is build your own content and analyze your own site's performance. Now, going back to the previous one, our regular price is $9.97 for the 8-module course. It's a live webinar, and between every teaching webinar will be a question and answer webinar, so we can answer any of the questions that you might have. So it is all of the support you need, and we will leave nobody behind, and at the end of the course you will have your website. The special offer today is for $647 if you sign up within the week. For a done-for-you website, we typically charge for the standard website $1,297, but today you will get it for $9.97, and we will include a package of social branding, which will ensure that you are consistent across your website and your social media, so that it all has the same consistent look and your branding is unforgettable. So to summarize, we have two offers. One is build your own website, which is the training, the 8-module training, with the bonus of the autoresponder mini workshop, or you can have the done for you website, where we do everything for you and you just build the content and do your own analysis of your site and backups. So we will be giving you a bit of training on that, but otherwise your website will be done for you within a week or two based on your requirements. And again, you get the same bonus as before, plus the social branding, which I did not mention here, but I will be adding that. And these are some of the additional services that are available upon request, and if you are a prior client of ours, we will give you a huge discount for any of these services, and they are all listed on my website. So to sign up for your build your own website course, the 8-week course, this is the link, and you can go there and sign up for $647. And to sign up for the done for you website package, including the social branding, that ensures your consistency across the different media that you will be advertising your presence on the web, this is the link that you would have to go to. And if you have any questions, you can send them to me. Thank you for attending, and goodbye. So you can send your questions to Joyce at successforheart.com. Thank you very much.